Hi there, welcome to today's coding challenge. Today we are playing around with Chat GPT. If you don't know yet, which you must know by now, Chat GPT is this AI chatbot that knows every language, including programming languages, and it can answer all your questions. So let's make a WordPress plugin today with the help of Chat GPT. So the idea for the WordPress plugin that I want to create is that I want to have a link where the visitor of a WooCommerce store can download a list of all the products and their prices. So let's do that. I have a prompt here that I have created already. Create PHP code for a WordPress plugin that adds a shortcode download prices that when clicked downloads an XSL file with the SKU name and price of all the products in the WooCommerce store. So let's see what ChatGPT will make of this. Here is an example. Okay, so it starts writing some code for a plugin. Plugin name is download prices. That's good. And then what are we doing here? We are making the shortcode. Okay, and it will go to a file download prices.php. And here's the download prices function that it's going to create. It's going to get the products, the IDs of the products from the WooCommerce database. And then it's going to include some files here. Whoa, what is it doing? Okay. That's a very complicated code. And it stopped a bit early here. I've had this problem before. It doesn't really want to make a whole plugin. You need to give it some shorter prompts. But let's take a look at this code. What is it doing? So here it's just doing all this plugin stuff to give the name and the description of the plugin. And then here it created this function, download prices shortcode, which is added to the download prices shortcode, which then will create a link to download prices.php in the current location of the plugin. That's it, just a link. And then we have a download prices function that will get all the products, create XSL file. Okay, FTP sockets, what is this doing? This is very complicated. So I think it's not going to work quite like this, and it stops this early. This last header is just the beginning of the function. So let's create a new chat and ask it something more simple. So let's start with only a CSV file, not an XLS file. And let's create a REST API endpoint for that. So let's start with that. Create a WordPress REST API endpoint called products/CSV. Okay, follow these steps. So first, I have to activate WordPress REST API plugin. I think I don't need to do that. That's already included in WordPress. But then I have to create the custom REST API endpoint. All right. And then get product. So it's actually writing the code to get the CSV, even though I just asked it to create the endpoint. I only wanted this code. But it's good. It's making the get product CSV code as well. So it gets all the posts that are the type product and then prepares the CSV. So it creates an empty array and then it loops through all the products and gets their ID and name, price and description, and then outputs the CSV file. All right, so let's see if this works. So I already have a WordPress site here with WooCommerce installed. So let's create a plugin. Let's copy that plugin code from here. And let's go to VS Code and put this REST API endpoint code here, and then the products CSV code. Okay, now we have it here. So it should work now. Let's see. But I have to save it first. So where should I save it? I should go to WP Content, Plugins, and create my own file, own folder here. So let's say CSV plugin. And then I need to call it plugin.php. And let's see. So now I have to go to the plugins page, and it should be here in the list. Download prices, it's here. So I will activate the plugin, and then I should go to the REST API endpoint, and it should work. So let's go here, open it in a new tab, and look at that. We got a CSV file here. So let's open this and see what it contains. And here we have our sample products that I have in the store. So that looks pretty nice. But now I do not want the description here. So I can just remove it from here. I don't need to ask GPT. And then let's say, what if I want to add some headers, because it just starts to print out the products here. So I want some headers in the CSV. So can you modify it so that it prints headers in the CSV? All right, so here we go. We start with the same thing, and then we just add this extra line of code here. And it's gonna print out the rest of the code. All right, so let's copy this code. I will copy only this line here because that's all I need. And I will add it here. And I will remove the description because I don't want that one. And let's try to go to the endpoint again. So let's see. It downloaded products again. And let's see. Now we have some beautiful headers over here. But the price is empty. I didn't realize that before. What is the problem? Well, here's the problem. It's trying to get the post meta price, but actually it's a regular price, and it should actually get it from a product object. So let's ask it to fix its problem. Can you fix the product price to come from WP product object? All right, so now here it's actually getting the product object from the product ID that it gets. And then it's gonna get the price from the product object. So let's copy this code again and paste it in here, remove the description, and let's try it. Here we have the price now. It works, except for a couple of products. I think these products might be variable products, so that's why they don't have a price. So let's fix that. First of all, I will tell it to remove the description from here. Please remove, let's be polite here, please remove the description field. Oh, and one other thing I want to change. I don't want the product ID, I want the product SKU. So let's do that. Can you change the product ID column to an SKU column? All right, so now it did that. So now instead of the ID, we have the SKU. So let's try this again. Copy code and paste it over here and download the products. Yes, now we have the SKU instead of the ID. Great. So now let's fix this, that we have this, the prices are not included on the last two products. Let's say only include products that have a price. Only include products that have a price. Okay, here we have another piece of code. So what it did here is it added this if not empty, then add it into the array. I wish it would have done it the other way, that it just, if it is empty, then continue the loop, so skip that one. So here, copy this code and paste it in here. And let's try it out again. All right, now we only have the products that have a price. So what are we going to do next? Okay, now let's do this. I really want to have an Excel file and not a CSV file. So I will ask, can you change the code so that it returns an XLS file instead of a CSV file? All right, it's using the PHPExcel library. And it seems like it's writing the correct code. Row equals 2. Okay, so it keeps track of the row because the first row is going to be the headers. Okay, that's very interesting. And now it again stopped short here for some reason, but I think we have enough here. So we don't actually need all of these headers here. And add the missing parts. Okay, so now it should work, but we need the PHPExcel library. How do I install the PHPExcel library? Download the latest version, extract the zip. I wonder if I can use Composer. Oh, you can also use Composer. Okay, so let's use Composer. Okay, so let's use Composer. So let's copy this and go to the terminal and change into our folder and run Composer require. And then I have to include the vendor autoload. All right, let's run it and see what happens. Go here. I think it changed the endpoint. Oh, it changed the function to get product XLS, so I have to change it here. And let's change it here as well, XLS. So now I have to change this to XLS. And now I have a critical error. What did I do wrong? Let's check the error log. Array and string access offset syntax with curly braces is no longer supported. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. Let's say, can you use another library than PHPExcel? There are several other libraries. All right, let's use the PHP Office PhpSpreadsheet. Can you modify the code to use this? All right, so here we have a modified version of the code for the PhpSpreadsheet library. So I don't have to do that because I did it already. I just have to use these. So let's add these here. Sorry, these have to be the first ones here. And then let's copy this function. And I think it again stopped short, but it doesn't matter because it is not that important. I still know what to do. Okay, so let's check this code that it wrote. So get products XSL. This is the same thing. And then we create a new spreadsheet object. And then we add the headers. And then we add the products. And then we save it. That is interesting. It will save it directly to the PHP output. I actually didn't know you can do this. So then it uses the opt-get contents. That's cool. You learn new, interesting stuff when you use Chat GPT. So let's save this and let's run it. If now we will get an XLS file. Oh, it doesn't work yet because I didn't require the composer of this. So composer require. All right, let's try this again. Ha! Now we downloaded an XLS file. Let's see what is in here. That is amazing. Now we have an XLS file with all the data, but now the columns are a bit not that wide. So let's change that. Let's say, can you make the XLS columns wider? Set column dimension. I like that it explains to you what you have to use, like as a tutorial, not just show the code. So this is so great. Set column dimension. So far this is the same code, but then it adds the width. Okay, and it stopped short again, but I think I need only this part of the code. So I will add it here. And let's try what happens. That looks better. Now it can fit everything in there. Amazing. Should I style this? Is it gonna know? I actually don't know how to do this because I've never worked with XLS files in PHP. So let's say, can you make the header of the XLS file bold and have a dark gray background? I find this so fascinating that Chat GPT is better than Google or Stack Overflow. You can just ask anything and it will tell you exactly how to use it. But now we have a problem. It stops it short again. So you can use the get style and apply from array methods. Okay. So how do I solve this issue now that it's not telling me what to do? I will do this. What if I just ask, can you write the rest of the code, please? Let's see if it will actually do it. It did not write it. Can you print just the part of the code where the header is styled? All right, well, okay, this is a bit complicated. So I have to set the style as an array. I set the font to be bold, and then a fill type, solid fill type of a color, and this is dark gray apparently. And alignment, okay. Okay, so this is what I need to do. Let's copy this and add it here. Okay, that should do it. So let's try. Go here again. Uh-oh, we have an error again. Let's check the logs. Fill, class fill not found. I get an error, fill not found. Okay, I think this is the problem. We did not import that one. So save that and let's give it another try. Still an error. Another alignment. It's probably in the same place. Is there another? Okay. Let's do that and try one more time. And now we have it. Let's see what it looks like. Wow, that is very ugly, but it did exactly what I told it to do. So great. Now we have a way of generating an Excel file of the products in the store. So now we have to create the link. So let's say, can you create a shortcode download prices that will link to the REST API endpoint? Okay, so here we have a shortcode. Now, it hard-coded this download prices text here. Can you change the shortcode so that I can set my own text inside the link? Alright, it did that, but it uses this attribute here. I don't really want to use this. I want to do this. Can you change it so that I can use it like this? Download prices, my text here. Alright, here is our beautiful code for adding the shortcode. So now it takes the content parameter and then it sets a default value if you don't have any content, and then it adds the text to the link. So now that should work. That looks like it's the correct code. Let's add it here and save it. And now let's try this. Let's go to Pages and let's go to the sample page. And then let's say you can download our pricing list by download prices, clicking here. So now if I go to the sample page, there should be a link by clicking here, and if I click here, there is no route. It did the wrong. Can you fix the API endpoint link to include the namespace? Okay, let's just modify it by hand. My plugin /v1/products. Let's go to the sample page again and click here, and now we download the product. And here they are. That is amazing. So let's check this now. If we add a new product here, if we go to WooCommerce, no products, and we add a new product, give it a name, test product, and give it a price, and publish. And then we go back to the sample page and we click here and we open the products. We have our test product here with no SKU because I didn't add it. But now it works, so now it updates it automatically. Now this might be a bit of a problem if you have thousands of products and then anyone can click at any time to get a list of all of them. So let's do some caching. Can you change the code so that the XLS file is only created if it wasn't updated in the past 30 minutes? Okay, so now it started to write this code and it tries to use the get transient. So I think this is not a good idea because I think the get transient saves some data to the database and gets it from there. So now you're gonna save the thousands of products in the database in one column. So that's not a good idea. So can you instead save the XLS file to the uploads folder, and when the API endpoint is called, only create a new file if the old one has been modified more than 30 minutes ago? Let's see. Certainly. Okay, so now it did it, but again it stopped this short. So it sets the cache expiration to 30 minutes. So it gets the upload directory and sets a file path that's inside the upload directory, and then the URL for the link where you can download it. And then it checks the file modification date and then compares it to the current date, and if it is cached, then just return that, and then otherwise create it. So I think we can use this to do it by ourselves. So let's put this here in the first part of the code. So instead of returning the file URL, I will just return, because this just outputs. I will say read file path, and I do not need the file URL. So it sets the cache expiration, it gets a path for the file, and then it checks if the file has been modified in the past 30 minutes, then it will just give you the file. Otherwise, it will go to the regular part of the function. Then it will create it. And now I have to save it to the file path. So let's do that. So here I am saving it just to the output. So actually I will put here, save it to the file path, and I don't need OB start or any of this. And then here I just put read file path. So now it should work. Now we need to verify that it works. So let's add here in the name just the current date. Like this. So now we know if the date changes, then it's created a new one. So let's run it. And let's go here and open it. And great, here we have the time, which for some reason is different than my local time on the computer. But anyway, at least the minutes are the same. So let's do it again. If I download it one more time, I forgot to put the headers, so I get just the output of the file. Okay, so let's put all of these. Well, I could do this. If it is not cached, then do all of this. And then do this. So now if I go here, I get the file, and it's the same file, it's the same date here. So now if we wait 30 minutes, then it will generate again. But let's change this to 1 minute, so we can test it out. So we download this, and here we have 320. If we download it again, and we go here, yes, it's the same. So then we just wait for a while. Okay, let's try now. Great, now we have a new timestamp in there. So now we have a WordPress plugin that allows you to create a link that will download all the products and their prices in an Excel file. And we have caching so that it's not going to be generated every time. And now that is the end of this video, and I hope you liked it. If you did, please give me a like and give me a comment, and subscribe to my channel so you will see more of videos like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.